We are often led to believe that the great moments in life are those of achievement and recognition, that it is the grand victories, the accomplishments that shine the brightest which define us. But this view is in many ways misguided. The real moments that shape us are often far less grandiose, often hidden beneath the surface of our daily lives. They are in the decisions we make, the struggles we endure, the humility with which we live, the questions we ask, and the love we give. These are the lessons that, once learned, every day we face a multitude of decisions, some significant, others seemingly trivial, but each one carries with it the power to shape the course of our lives in ways we cannot always predict. We often see life as a series of events, a series of things that happen to us, as if we were being swept along by the current of circumstances. But in truth, we are not simply passive recipients of what happens to us. We are active participants in the unfolding of our lives. It is through the choices we make, both big and small, that we carve our path and define who we are. At first glance, it might seem as if the choices we make are small and inconsequential. Perhaps we think that our day-to-day decisions are no more than routine, decisions that hardly matter in the grand scheme of things. Yet when we reflect on the path we have walked, we realize that it is the sum of these small choices that have brought us to where we are now. Every decision we make is a thread in the fabric of our lives, and these threads are woven together to create the tapestry of who we are. Take, for instance, the decision to reach out to someone in need, to offer a word of encouragement, or to take the time to listen. It may seem like a small act, but in reality, it can have a profound impact. You may never fully understand the ripple effect of your actions, how one simple choice can change someone else's life, or how that choice will influence the path you walk from that moment on. The act of kindness, of choosing to show up in the lives of others, becomes a part of the legacy you leave behind. Even the seemingly insignificant decisions we make on a daily basis shape us in ways that we often overlook. The decision to take the extra 5 minutes in the morning to reflect, to choose a positive mindset, to seek the good in a difficult situation. Each moment is an opportunity to choose, to act with intention, and to make decisions that align with the person we want to become. We often hear the phrase, choose your battles wisely, and indeed, not every decision is one that requires a great deal of effort or contemplation. Yet there are moments in life when we are called to make choices that will define us in ways we cannot easily reverse. These decisions often come when we stand at a crossroads. It is in the face of fear, of doubt, of the unknown, that the power of choice reveals its full potential. The truth is that we are never truly powerless, no matter how difficult the situation may seem. Even when life presents us with challenges beyond our control, we still have the ability to choose how we respond. Do we succumb to despair, or do we choose to find hope? Do we close ourselves off, or do we choose to open our hearts to others? These decisions are not easy, and they often come with a great deal of struggle. But it is through these choices, through the act of choosing to rise above our circumstances, that we create the foundation for our growth and transformation. One of the most powerful aspects of choice is its ability to shape our character. We do not simply choose the course of our lives, we also choose who we become in the process. Every decision reflects the values we hold dear, the principles that guide us, and the person we strive to be. It is through our choices that we reveal our inner selves, and in this way, choice becomes a mirror, reflecting back to us who we are, who we hope to be, and what we are willing to stand for. In the face of adversity, it is easy to forget the power we possess. We often look outside ourselves for answers, for validation, for a sign that we are on the right path. Yet, the power to shape our future lies not in external circumstances, but in our own hands. It is through the choices we make In the quiet moments of our lives that we determine our future, we must remember that we are not at the mercy of fate, nor are we victims of circumstance. The path we walk is a direct result of the choices we make each day. This understanding of choice brings with it a sense of responsibility. Our decisions do not only affect us, they have the potential to influence the lives of those around us. It is through the choices we make that we build relationships, that we contribute to our communities, that we leave our mark on the world. We must ask ourselves, are we making choices that align with our values? Are we choosing love, kindness, and integrity? Or are we allowing fear, anger, and doubt to shape our decisions? The choices we make have the power to uplift, to inspire, and to change the course of history. And yet, even when we make decisions with the best of intentions, we will inevitably encounter moments of failure, moments when we look back and wish we had chosen differently. It is in these moments of regret that the true power of choice is revealed once again. For even in failure, we are presented with a choice. How we respond to our mistakes. Do we let them define us? Or do we choose to learn from them, to grow stronger, to rise again? The beauty of choice is that it is never final. We are not defined by one decision, one moment, one mistake. We are constantly given the opportunity to choose again, to course correct, to take a different path. This constant freedom to choose is what makes life so extraordinary. We are never bound by the choices of yesterday, for each new day presents us with a fresh opportunity. The weight of our past decisions need not haunt us, for we are free to make new choices that align with the person we are becoming. The past may inform us, but it does not have to define us. We are not prisoners of our history. We are architects of our future. The power of choice is therefore both liberating and humbling. It calls us to be intentional with every step we take, to recognize that each choice, no matter how small, holds the potential to shape our future. It asks us to be conscious of the decisions we make, to live with purpose and meaning, and to take responsibility for the path we walk. In this way, we become not just passive recipients of life's circumstances, but active creators of our own destiny. And so, as we move forward in our lives, we must remember that we are always choosing. Every moment is a new opportunity to decide who we want to be, how we want to respond, and where we want to go. Our choices shape not only our future, but the kind of person we become along the way. Each decision, whether large or small, is a brushstroke on the canvas of our lives, and together they create the masterpiece of who we are meant to be. We must choose wisely, choose with intention, and choose with the knowledge that, in the end, it is our choices that define us. Life, in its essence, is a journey of growth. However, it is not growth in the way we might initially think. It is not always about rising effortlessly or stepping from one achievement to the next without hardship. True growth often emerges from struggle, from the dark times when we feel as though we are faltering or losing ground. Struggle is not an obstacle to our development, but rather a catalyst for the transformation that is necessary for our personal evolution. When we face difficulties, it's natural to wish they would disappear or avoid them altogether. But if we are to truly understand the purpose of struggle, we must learn to embrace it. There is something inherently human about the desire to escape discomfort. Pain, failure, and hardship are often viewed as signs of weakness or misfortune. Yet the reality is far more complex. Struggle is not a punishment. It is an opportunity for profound change. It is through facing adversity that we learn resilience, develop empathy, and strengthen our character. The key to growth through struggle lies not in resisting it, but in accepting it as part of the process. When we find ourselves in difficult circumstances, it is easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless. We may question why these challenges are present in our lives, why we are being tested in such a way. Every difficulty, no matter how great, carries with it a lesson. And while we may not always understand that lesson at first, With time, we will come to realize that the lessons learned during the hardest moments are often the most valuable. Consider the way steel is forged. The metal must endure intense heat and pressure to become strong. Without this process, it remains brittle and easily broken. Similarly, we too must endure life's trials to emerge stronger. It is through the pressure of our struggles that we learn to hold ourselves together, to rise above the weight of adversity. Just as steel is not formed without fire, we are not truly refined without facing challenges that test our limits. Moreover, struggle forces us to confront parts of ourselves we may prefer to ignore. It reveals our weaknesses, fears, and doubts, and in doing so provides us the chance to address them. We often see ourselves in a limited light, believing that we are defined by our successes or failures. But when we face struggle, we come to understand that we are not our circumstances. Our identity is not built on the things we achieve or the obstacles we face, but on how we respond to them. It is through overcoming hardship that we come to understand the depth of our strength, the breadth of our potential, and the capacity for growth that resides within us. In this sense, struggle also teaches us patience. It is the ability to remain steadfast even when we cannot yet see the results of our efforts. Through this patience, we learn that progress is not always linear, and that sometimes the greatest growth occurs when we least expect it. Furthermore, struggle has the ability to deepen our connection with others. It is through shared hardship that we often form the strongest bonds. When we experience difficulty, we are reminded of our common humanity. We see that we are not alone in our struggles and that everyone faces challenges in their own way. This realization fosters empathy and compassion. When we learn to navigate our own pain, we become more attuned to the pain of others, and this shared understanding binds us together. Through struggle, we are not only transformed as individuals, but we also contribute to the collective strength of the human spirit. Lastly, it is important to understand that growth through struggle is not a process of simply surviving hardship, but of transcending it. We are not defined by the struggles we face, but by how we choose to overcome them. When we embrace hardship with the understanding that it is a means of growth, we begin to see each challenge as an opportunity for personal transformation. It is through struggle that we gain wisdom, insight, and perspective. It is through the hard moments that we learn to appreciate the good moments, to value what truly matters, and to approach life with a renewed sense of purpose. Thus, while we may wish for a life free of struggle, the truth is that struggle is what shapes us into the people we are meant to become. It is through our trials that we find our strength, our resilience, and our deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Without struggle, we would never know the depth of our capacity for growth. Humility is one of those virtues that is often misunderstood. We think of humility as something akin to weakness or submission, but nothing could be further from the truth. True humility is not about diminishing ourselves or making ourselves small. Rather, it is the ability to recognize the inherent value in others, to see the world through their eyes, and to approach life not from a place of superiority, but from a place of shared humanity. It is an understanding that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves, that our place in the world is not defined by accolades or possessions, but by the relationships we foster and the way we contribute to the collective good. Humility allows us to live with open hearts and minds, and in doing so, it invites us to experience life in its fullest form. At its core, humility is an acknowledgement that we are not the center of the universe. It is the recognition that we are not more important than anyone else, that our worth is not determined by the positions we hold, the wealth we accumulate, or the achievements we boast. Humility teaches us to see others as equals, as valuable in their own right, and to approach every person with respect, regardless of their status or background. It is a call to relinquish the ego, to set aside the need to be better than others, and to instead focus on how we can serve, uplift. In a world that often values success, fame, and material wealth, humility can be a difficult concept to embrace. We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we must strive for more, that we must prove our worth through our accomplishments. Society encourages us to put ourselves first, to compete, to stand out, and to rise above the crowd. But in the pursuit of these goals, we risk losing sight of what truly matters. We become so focused on winning, on achieving, that we forget the importance of kindness, of empathy, and of connection. Humility calls us to reject this notion of constant striving for dominance. It asks us to let go of the idea that we must always be the best, the fastest, or the most successful. Instead, it invites us to see life not as a competition, but as a shared experience, a journey we take together with others. It reminds us that the goal is not to be better than others, but to become the best version of ourselves. This doesn't mean abandoning ambition or striving for excellence, but it means doing so with the awareness that others too are on their own journeys, and that our success should not come at the expense of others' well-being. One of the most profound aspects of humility is its ability to foster deep, meaningful relationships. When we approach others with humility, we allow them to be seen for who they truly are, without judgment or expectation. We recognize their value not for what they can give to us, but for who they are in their own right. Humility enables us to listen with an open heart, to offer support without strings attached, and to engage with others in a way that builds trust and mutual respect. It allows us to create connections that are based not on what someone can do for us, but on a genuine appreciation of their humanity. Moreover, humility encourages us to learn from those around us. No matter how much we know, there is always something to be gained from the experiences and perspectives of others. Humility teaches us to remain open, to be willing to admit when we are wrong, and to seek out wisdom wherever it may be found. It is through humility that we recognize that we do not have all the answers, that we are constantly in a state of learning, and that there is always room for growth. Humility allows us to approach every person, every situation, and every challenge with a mindset of curiosity and respect, rather than one of arrogance or superiority. True humility also involves a deep sense of self-awareness. It requires us to be honest with ourselves, to recognize our own strengths and weaknesses, and to understand our place in the world. It is easy to become inflated with our own sense of importance, to get lost in the admiration of others or in our own achievements. But humility reminds us that we are not the sum of our accomplishments or our talent. Our value lies not in what we do or what we have, but in who we are. Humility teaches us to look inward, to examine our motives and intentions, and to ensure that our actions are in alignment with our values. In practice, humility can be seen in the way we interact with others. It is in the act of listening attentively without interrupting, of giving credit where it is due, of acknowledging the contributions of others. It is in the willingness to admit our mistakes, to apologize when we have wronged someone, and to extend forgiveness when we have been hurt. Humility is not about denying our worth or pretending to be less than we are. It is about recognizing that our worth is not dependent on comparisons, and that we do not need to prove ourselves in order to be valuable. In a world that often prioritizes individual success, humility offers a refreshing alternative. It teaches us that success is not measured by personal achievement, but by the positive impact we have on the lives of others. True greatness is not about standing alone at the top, but about lifting others as we rise. Humility reminds us that we are all interconnected, that our actions have consequences, and that the way we treat others is a reflection of our character. It encourages us to be kind, to be generous, and to be mindful of the needs of others, not just our own. Humility at its best is a way of living that is grounded in love and compassion. It is the ability to put others' needs before our own, to act with integrity, and to approach life with a sense of gratitude. When we live with humility, we live with the understanding that we are not the center of the universe, but rather a part of a greater whole. Humility allows us to see the beauty in others, to celebrate their successes, and to offer support in times of need. It is the quality that helps us navigate the complexities of life with grace and wisdom, and it is the key to building strong, lasting relationships. In embracing humility, we are not diminished. Rather, we are elevated. Humility allows us to see the world in a new light, one that is filled with possibility, compassion, and connection. It teaches us to value others not for what they can give to us, but for who they are, and in doing so, it brings us closer to the essence of what it means to be truly human. Through humility, we discover that the path to greatness is not through striving to be better than others, but through embracing our shared humanity and striving to be the best versions of ourselves. Curiosity is the spark that ignites the fire of discovery, and without it, life becomes a monotonous cycle of repetition and stagnation. It is the driving force behind exploration, innovation, and growth. To live without curiosity is to exist without wonder, to pass through life without truly experiencing its depth and complexity. Curiosity, in its purest form, is not just about seeking knowledge for the sake of knowledge, but about approaching the world with a sense of openness and awe, ready to learn and understand the unknown. Curiosity allows us to break free from the confines of our existing understanding and venture into new realms of possibility. It challenges the status quo, inviting us to question the world around us and explore alternatives to what we have always known. Every great discovery, whether in science, art, or philosophy, has its roots in a deep-seated curiosity. It is the desire to understand, to seek out new truths, that drives humanity forward. Without curiosity, we would still be living in the dark, unable to push the boundaries of our potential. Moreover, curiosity connects us to others. When we are genuinely curious about the lives, experiences, and perspectives of those around us, we build relationships based on understanding and empathy. Curiosity opens the door to deeper connections as it allows us to listen attentively, to engage with others without judgment, and to appreciate the unique qualities that make each person who they are. In a world that often encourages division, curiosity acts as a bridge, helping us to see beyond our differences and appreciate the shared humanity that binds us together. By asking questions and being open to learning from others, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to the enrichment of those around us. Curiosity is not limited to the external world. It is just as powerful when turned inward, prompting us to explore the depths of our own minds and hearts. This inward curiosity helps us navigate the complexities of life with greater clarity and purpose. It empowers us to make more informed choices, to recognize the patterns that govern our actions, and to actively shape the direction of our lives. Curiosity also invites us to embrace uncertainty. It encourages us to step into the unknown, to approach life with a sense of wonder rather than fear. In doing so, we open ourselves up to new experiences, new perspectives, and new opportunities for growth. The curious mind does not shy away from challenges, but faces them with eagerness, knowing that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn something new. In the face of adversity, curiosity empowers us to ask, "What can this teach me?" rather than retreating into doubt or despair. It is this mindset that allows us to turn every setback into a stepping stone, every failure into a lesson. Living with curiosity also fosters creativity. When we are curious, we begin to see connections that others might miss, to make associations between disparate ideas, and to approach problems with fresh eyes. This creative thinking is what allows us to innovate, to invent, and to solve the challenges that confront us. The curious mind does not accept things as they are, but constantly looks for ways to improve, to refine, and to innovate. It is through curiosity that we push the boundaries of what is possible. Curiosity, in all its forms, also encourages us to remain humble. When we are curious, we acknowledge that we do not have all the answers, that there is always more to learn, and that our understanding of the world is limited. This recognition fosters a sense of humility, as we come to terms with the fact that no matter how much we know, there will always be more to discover. Curiosity teaches us to be comfortable with uncertainty, to embrace the mystery of life. Ultimately, curiosity is the key to living a rich and fulfilling life. It enables us to experience the world with all of its complexity and wonder, to form deeper connections with others, to explore our own potential, and to continually grow and evolve. A life without curiosity is a life half-lived, a life that misses out on the beauty and depth that comes from seeking, questioning, and discovering. Through curiosity, we learn not only about the world around us, but about ourselves. And in this process of discovery, we find meaning, purpose, and connection.